How in 2026 to increase occupancy at your care home with a 90% success rate. Wow. I'm going to be 20 minutes. I'll be brief. I've got my stopwatch here. Keep an eye on it. So we'll be quite fast, but we'll have a bit of time for Q&A at the end. So please ask questions as we go in chat. That would be great. Who am I? I'm Adam. I'm founder of Springup PR, and we help care homes get more inquiries to increase occupancy and revenue faster. So, how can you make a 90% claim? Adam, you may be asking. Okay, so I'm going to be providing you with data, and that's what this is all about. It's about the data. This is based on all the care homes that we've been involved in and we've been helping, probably over the last, let's say, last 12 months. So, out of the 28 out of 31 care homes that we've been involved in helping, using largely the strategies we're talking about today, either have a same occupancy more after 6 months or 12 months. There's 28 out of 31, which is 90%. So, but that's to be absolutely clear here, this is same occupancy and more. So these are care homes within care groups where their occupancy has increased after 6 months or 12 months, 24 out of 31, which is 77%. So in these care groups, can be between two homes, 4 homes, and 10 plus homes. Individual care homes, where there's been more of a laser focus, is 100%, 6 out of 6 concerted strategies as outlined in this webinar. Now that is the data. By the way, to be clear, I'm not saying any of this will be applying to you, but what I am saying is that is the data that we have collated. So that's where we get the 90%. Now, your good question, is this private or local authority? It's a mix. I've not broken it down even further. Just for the purposes of this webinar, I've just provided you the data, the summary data as it is here. So why this increased occupancy for these particular homes that I've summarized in this data? By the way, if you want to know which those homes are, go on a call me. I'll share it with you if you are curious. Some have NDAs, some are happy to share their experience. Well, but usually it's increased inquiries. You want to increase occupancy, you need more inquiries, and the data generally shows us that the more inquiries you get, the more increased quality inquiries. Every care home wants quality inquiries, but there are caveats here. There are caveats for sure, but usually the data shows more increased inquiries, the more increased quality inquiries, which every care home wants, correct? In fact, every business, every organization wants better quality inquiries. So these numbers, those data that I've given you today, is despite residents delaying decisions to go to care and nursing homes, which I know you probably experience. This is a trend, right? That every care home we speak to says this is something that's happening, despite loads of competitors in their catchment areas, including home care. By the way, I was looking at this today. Helping Hands, the home care agency, they pretty much are advertising every single catchment area of a care home with a view to try, pretty much, this is data we've seen, with a view to try and get more inquiries from people who may be searching for care homes. Interesting. Despite complex needs of residents, increasingly complex needs of residents, and despite, of course, residents passing away. So that data applies to even though care homes have all of these issues, which you know about as well, I know. But there are conditions, I feel, that have been consistent in certainly the care homes that we've been involved in that have met that data that I've just given you on that first slide. They have to decide they want to address the problem in the first place. Funny one, yes, but they have to decide they want to address the problem, whether that's more private or local authority families. Simple, but you have to decide you want to address the problem first. Usually, those who answer inquiries fast, within hours, and have good follow-up get best result, and excellent follow-up, as I mentioned. I'm going to come to this in a later slide. And it's providing they've had no serious reputation issues cropping up in the 6 or 12 months, such as requires improvement or even worse, inadequate. And, you have to presume they have a contemporary website. They have to have this. Particularly if they want to get more inquiries, people are searching online, that's where they go to make that first impression. if they don't already know about you. Plus a commitment to address the problem in first place, which usually includes money, work, and resources, and probably all three of them. Yeah. So it's always work for sure. So that's what we found, again, is a important factor here in deciding more increase inquiries, increase occupancy, according to our data, as I said, that I provided. Okay, and now I'm going to come into the strategies. Now, some of these you may be doing already. Great. Let me know how they're going on. But I just want to run through the strategies. But I'm not going to be going into the weeds. I am not going to be explaining all the details of how they all work and the ins and the outs. I want to give you an overview of the strategies. Please, as you go, questions in Q&A or in chat. But if you want to know the details into the weeds about the strategies, all the strategies I'm talking about on this webinar today, go and look at our YouTube channel here. You will see on these videos, I give everything I know and have learned on these videos. And go to our YouTube channel. That's where I go into the weeds a lot more. So, number one strategy, I want to increase inquiries, increase occupancy, get in front of loads more people showing intent. That's families showing intent by search engines, Google. These are kind of searches that people are making. They are looking, they're showing intent. Now you're probably doing these now. That's great. We'll come into it later, but this is certainly a key strategy. 94% of families go online during the course of looking for a care home. So just during the course of looking for a care home, so they are searching. So you have SEO, one strategy, but this is particular focus on Google Ads, yeah, to make sure that, and Google Ads is the engine. It's the engine. It's not the be all and end all, but it's the engine to make sure, yeah, you are getting seen significantly more, like 10 times, 20 times more of those families who are showing intent online by searching. Here's a couple of examples of ads. Just so you know, if you're not doing them, if you are, great. And let us know how you're getting on. Now, I said I wouldn't go into the weeds, but as I said, if you want to go into the weeds, showing how to do Google Ads for care homes, this is not generic Google Ads, it's Google Ads for care homes. Go and look at any of these ads, which are, these videos, which are on our YouTube channel. When you are doing this strategy, you really want to make sure you're tracking everything so you know exactly the Google Ads inquiries that you've generated via the phone calls, live chats, brochures, downloads, contact us form submissions, booking a visit, email inquiries, all digitally tracked. So important here. You remember I mentioned on this webinar intro, the one vital thing that actually we find that care homes most of the time, I'm not saying you are not doing this, do not do, is they do not absolutely track every single inquiry they're getting via the Google Ads. By the way, tracking is just by code, widgets and human intelligence, but it's so important that. By the way, tracking also on leaflet drops, also a great thing that you can now do much better. Okay, that's the first strategy, number one. Second strategy is to become ridiculously famous. Okay, please, any questions, put them in Q&A. I'm just wanted to check on one thing. It's to be ridiculously famous. Yeah, ridiculously famous. By, let's call it PR generally. So you want to make sure that you are just like hyper better known than you are already. One way is to make sure you're getting ongoing positive press coverage. I call it amplifying the word of mouth reputation. We know, you all know how important word of mouth reputation is to you. Well, you know, logic is, data is, if you want more inquiries, you need to amplify that. Amplify that word of mouth reputation within your catchment area. Regional journalists love good care home stories, and every care home in the UK should be aiming for positive press coverage every 2 or 3 months. That's just one element of this PR. It's not everything, it's just one key element. So how are you going to do this? Well, yes, there's work. Yes, you need to have a PR marketing call perhaps every month with your, either in-house with one home. It can be 15 minutes, 10 minutes, it can be half an hour, it doesn't matter, but it's in your diary and it's been scheduled in. And you're working out what that best story is. Then you're getting the story by knowing who to speak to within your care home. This is just going into the weeds as much as I will here about, you know, how to actually achieve this. But again, the weeds, well, how do you actually do it? There you go. Again, I'm not going to go into this webinar, but I want to give you all the pointers. Go and look at any of those videos on the YouTube channel. They go into the weeds. How to write a perfect, real life care home news release. And it's a real life one, and I've just gone through the details. How many times per year can your care homes get positive press coverage? How to get positive press coverage on the BBC and ITV. Remember, regional TV, BBC and ITV love great care home stories. So I just want to give you very quickly here. This is one home within 12 months. All the stories. I'm just going to flick through them. You can see the headlines here, all things that you are doing. But this home here is just getting ongoing positive press coverage every 2 months for the last 9 years. Just systematic. They're a lovely home. It's Barrow Hill Hall Care Home in Staffordshire. They won't mind me telling you this. But again, look at these headlines. These are the things that you are probably doing, but they really are promoting themselves. This is their, to be honest, for them, it's their key strategy. Miniature ponies, pet therapy. Here it is. This is one home, just a sample within the last 12 months. So, it goes on. There's activities, things that you will be doing. So I hope that gives you an idea of, what you can be achieving. So the second part of this being famous is to make sure, you're getting your positive press coverage, but you are massively increasing the reach within your catchment areas digitally via Facebook. So here, you can see here, this story here got positive press coverage. Look where, I'm so sorry it's a bit small, but by the way, the number of likes on this story is 634. The number of positive comments is 98. The number of shares is 10. This is a story, I know, I'm sorry you can't read it, but it's about Hilma. It's for a care home that we've helped out. They won't mind me showing you this. About how she loves being a care worker. It's all a very positive story about how she loved being a care worker. She's been there for 14 years. Very, very positive. Got the press coverage, but then you want to make sure, as well as the press coverage, you're making sure this story flies on Facebook. You're reaching 20,000, 30,000 people within your catchment area to amplify this reputation. And again, 98 positive comments, and those are just a sample of the comments. Now, I can tell you now, I'm not going to go into the weeds, but why did this story get so much traction? They had a boost of 100, maybe 100, 150 pounds, a boost to give it accelerated reach. And the story was written, it was the best story coming out of the care home at that point in time, and it was written emotively with use of emoticons, and it was written strategically. So a thought had gone into how that post was written. So again, this is how you want to make it fly on Facebook as part of this amplifying the word of mouth reputation. And there are other methods, because Facebook can reach in your catchment area families age 45 plus who you want to be reaching. Creative competitions and charity fundraisers, again, where the mechanism to target audience to comment, engage and share. That's really, you're getting algorithms, algorithms love this. So you have to think strategically about how to do it, but algorithms, I don't like. Even algorithms have such negative connotations. But anyway, that's what it is with Facebook and Meta. Algorithms love this. So I want to give you an example. We call it accelerated engagements. If you put a post on Facebook, you may get 200, 300 people seeing it, but you want to reach 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people. Here's a real life example. It was spectacularly successful. No way you're going to be achieving this, but this is a great example. Accelerated during Dementia Action Week. It was a Vicarage Care Home. They had dementia initiatives. They're based in Allithwaite in Cumbria. And the sharing mechanism, remember I talked about you want to get people to share the Facebook posts, was doing a fundraiser for dementia charity. And there's a whole load of posts going during this dementia charity fundraiser. But one Facebook post was a night staff wearing dementia-friendly nightwear. It went viral. 13.8 million people. Yes, you are reading that correct. 13.8 million people reached on Facebook. 432,000 positive reactions to that post. 51,000 positive comments and 236,000 shares. To my record, this is the most viral Facebook posts ever for a single care home. Just those numbers there. Those are the numbers. And what really gave it the little boost was a £200 Facebook boost. because posts don't usually go viral on their own. In fact, it's very, 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 very rare for any post to go viral. But in this case, it was a £200 Facebook boost that just gave it that little catalyst. And of course, yeah, we've got all positive press coverage for the home, etc. Number 3, how are we doing with time? We've got 10 minutes. We're doing all right. Is to make sure you proactively advertise questions in Q&A or chat. Please proactively advertise to tens of thousands of people aged 45 plus in your catchment area. But how do you do it? Well, via Facebook ads. And this is strategy number 3. Now, this is a real life respite ad. I just want to give you a flavour of what it may look like if you're doing Facebook ads. Again, if you want to go into the weeds, go onto YouTube channel. As I mentioned, you'll see lots of how-to-dos. But to give you a flavour here, 5 qualified leads per £500 ad spend. Yeah, so what you're doing here is you are reaching out into your community via Facebook in your catchment area to advertise, to get leads. And these are Facebook leads that you will be getting if you do it properly. Facebook lead forms, you have to qualify them. You have to disqualify a lot of people because a lot of them will be looking for jobs. You want to disqualify all of those and get to the juicy people of those who are genuinely interested in the possibility of care. These are people higher up, definitely higher up the funnel. But if you want to proactively reach them in ways that your other care homes in your catchment areas are not, well, that's how you do it. And that's strategy number 3. As a high percentage of respite become permanent. I'm not saying, by the way, that these ads need to be necessarily focused to respite, but, for those who want to increase their inquiries and occupancy and who happen to have a good conversion from respite to permanent, if they're not coming to respite to you, they're going to be coming to another care home. So that's why I've included this. Number 4, I love this myself. This is emails straight into the email inboxes of VIPs within your community. You want to be making sure that all the VIPs, and I'll come to in a moment who those are, if you want to make sure that they are getting good news about your care homes directly into their inbox every 2 months, every month, every 2 months, systematically. Here's an example of what they could look like. And they are well received. I promise you, we do it the whole time. We see that they are not only just open, but they are well received. So who are these VIPs within your local communities of your catchment areas? I call them VIPs, the partners, stakeholders. They, of course, are commissioners, hospital discharge teams. This is to give you just an idea who they are. GPs, GP practice managers, dementia charities, church and faith groups, solicitors, financial advisors, healthcare professionals, elderly related charities. You'll know who they all are within your catchment areas of your care home. Journalists, counsellors, MPs, partner home care agencies. Have you got partnerships with your local home care agencies? And of course, inquiring families. Every inquiring family. Just yesterday, family who had made an inquiry to a care home like 8 months ago, 9 months ago. A couple, they finally became residents 9 months later after making that initial inquiry. They need to go into these emails that you are sending out. And I promise you, your home will be the only home that they will be receiving these emails from. And open rates of 42% plus. People in your VIPs, stakeholders, they love to know what's going on in your care home. Again, make it interesting, informative, engaging, not salesy or marketing emails. And it gets really exciting when you do these emails because you can build your email lists up forever. So you're always increasing emails that your professionals and people who are making inquiries and families, they're always going into that. I'm not talking about emails, by the way, that's separate to your residents and their families. I'm talking to your communities. This way your word of mouth, reputation, referral network builds up forever because you're always adding your connections and emails into that email system. Now, I know this is strategy number 5. I know community engagement is something you're probably doing, and that's great. And you'll know what I'll be talking about here. I know dementia has dementia cafes, activities, partnerships with local schools, or partnerships with all your other organisations. But what I want to do here is just give you a really nice idea to add to the mix here. And you may be familiar, tell me you are, with Eric Knowles. There's also Charles Hanson. These are fine art, antiques valuators. They're on Bargain Hunt, the BBC flog it. This is a great thing you really should do. They will do valuations at your care home, and it's a great way to get visitors to the home who you would otherwise not get. I'm just wary of the time. We've got 3 more minutes, so I'm just going to push on through now. But here's an example of an invite, and I promise you, with this kind of event where you're going to, there's exclusive invites, no other care homes again in your catchment area will be doing. The CQC will love it, commissioners will love it, the public will love it, and you really want to make a big song and dance about it because it's the celebrity attraction, the event, that will really, bring in people who've not already come to your home. So your home becomes a really big draw, and you want to really make a big song and dance about it. Results have been, for example, 45 guests. That excludes family members. The family members is great, but you want to be reaching other guests. So 45 guests, including commissioners and elderly charity groups and stakeholders, they came because it's a special event and people could bring in evaluations actually for that event. And the Age UK, they wanted to host the events at their home after they came visited. There's another charity, they wanted to collaborate with the home on fundraisers. And the vicar from the local church had a look around the care home for his mum. Great and bags of video testimonials. Of course, you can do smartphone videos of that day and get bags of video testimonials. And video testimonials are the best. We're not talking about carehomes.co.uk reviews here, we're talking about video testimonials. It's an exclusive activity. So you really want to impress the CQC? That's really nice. Exclusive activity, no other care home will be doing it in your area, apart from those that we've helped. Course, and that you can get lovely PR and press coverage from it, and there's an example. So we're doing pretty well in time. So I just want to, number 6, sit strategy. Finally, on following up on inquiries to improve conversion. I actually have a 6-step guide. I'm sure you're amazing at this, but I have a 6-step guide to following up care home inquiries. It's done after consultation with some big care home providers and also knowledge base, and essentially if you want that guide I can email it to you. There's actually a video on it on that YouTube channel I mentioned, but there's also a PDF. It's absolutely packed, and it is a 6-step guide, and it covers everything: how to handle inquiries via text, via email. It goes into really detail, just basically lays it out, and it gives you just some ideas which you can bring into your own care home. But we found this makes really big difference to those care homes that I mentioned. Remember I mentioned at the very top about the data. So thank you, we've done pretty well. It's now actually exactly 30 minutes. So I'm going to, let me just see if I've got any questions, because if you have, I'm going to go straight into those. Let me just have a look. Any questions, please, in Q&A. So, yeah, one question is, thank you, Cameron, about recording. Yes, there will be recording. Might not be out for 2-3 weeks, though. So that's that. Great question. But one question from Jack about, yes, okay. You mentioned something about the diagnostics, about wanting, about being as objective as a doctor when deciding what to do in the first place. Yeah, you do have to really, and it comes to that very first slide, recognizing there's a problem and deciding what to do about it. And that requires, looking at the numbers, looking at the data, looking where your inquiries are coming from or not, and then deciding what will move the needle. Ultimately, it's about deciding on a strategy that will move the needle. And that depends on the situation that you're in the first place. And that comes to about the doctor's analogy about, diagnosing the problem in the first place. Because it's only after you've done that you can put a remedy or a solution in place. So if there's any more questions, just please put them in Q&A or in chat. If you could possibly run paid ads on Google search or Facebook, which would you choose? That is a very good question. Now, Google is my number one. I'll tell you why, because it's families showing intent. So if I am looking for a care home for my dad, and 9 times out of 10 families know nothing about care homes, so they will just, put a search and, best care home near me or best care home in Hastings. And your Google ads will show up for people doing that particular search, and that's someone who's showing intent. So that would be number one. Facebook ads is more, you're literally The Facebook ads is people on their phone. You're interrupting their day with an ad. They're doing leisure time. Leisure time. They're watching stupid videos, right? So your ad on Facebook is interrupting their leisure time because they're not on Facebook looking for something. So that's why there are people lower down the funnel. So to answer your question, Google Ads number one, Facebook number two. And then Cameron asked, thank you. I just want to ask you regarding emails of MPs, hospitals. Yeah. Are you doing this through a newsletter like Aspect? Yeah. And if so, how do you get their consent to add them? Right. That's a very good question. Consent. So number one, yes, it is via a newsletter, MailChimp. And consent. Well, these are publicly available emails. Yeah. Publicly available. Number one. These are professionals. So what we do is we will gather that email, we will send them a personal email, an email to them. So it would be, in your case, dear Cameron, hi, I'm Adam, I'm from Joe Blogg's Care Home. I'm sending you this email because I'd love to tell you about what's going on in your local care home. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably know you already, and then you have the email. But if you don't want to hear from me anymore, just let me know, or you can unsubscribe. So it's very, very clear here. So it's legitimate interest. That's how we'll do it. This is legitimate interest. And we'll be very clear it's to somebody and it's from someone. It's the care home manager. Giving them a very, very clear option to opt out. First email. So that's how we do it. We do it under the interest of legitimate interest. Again, this is people within your catchment area. This is not, we're not spamming 10,000, 20,000 people. We've never had issues with that. So that's a very good question. That's how we do it, or have done it, and continue to do it. So that's that. So I did have one final slide, which I was going to show you, but it's now 2:00. So that's great. And thank you for your time. And if you want to go finally into the weeds a little bit more, go onto the YouTube channel. It has a lot of details there, which 100% sure that you'll find of value. I'm just going to do one final check to make sure there's no more questions that have come in, but thank you so much.